Once there was a king. Is there anybody here? They've all given up, see? If I say this side, anybody queens, they'll all raise their hands. Why have you given up, see? Oh. However small the kingdom is, somewhere you're a queen, isn't it? So what? See, look at these guys, they're given up. So once there was a king. On a certain day, which is the public, meeting the public kind of day, one old man came and he said, "You know, my daughter, she's young and she's come to marriage. I have found an alliance for her, but I don't have the money. She's my only daughter. I want to do it well. I need some help from you so that I can conduct this marriage. I don't want you to think by today's standards. Those days, conducting your daughter's wedding was the biggest event in your life. Today, things are slowly changing. She does it by herself. Not troubling the parents anymore. It's a different scene, but those days a daughter's marriage was like everything. So he wants to do it with some pomp. The king looked at him and said, "If you have no capability to earn money, where did you get this desire to spend for your daughter? Do it under the tree." The man begged, "O king, I know I have not earned money, but this is my only daughter, I want to do something." Then the minister who was standing next to him opened up a scripture and said, in the scripture it says, even if you have to sell your home and land, you must do your daughter's wedding properly. Don't do this, I'm only telling you. The scripture says, not me. So he read that to the king. Then the king said, "Okay, I'll give you, but with a condition." What is the condition? The king was sitting in his palace. In front of his palace there was a kind of a pond, a water body. It was evening. He said, "You go, stand in this pond neck deep in water till tomorrow morning. If you stand, tomorrow I'll give you money." 12 hours in cold water. The man is not young. It's utterly cruel. If somebody comes and asks you something, if you want to give, you give without asking questions. If you don't want to give, you just say, "I don't want to give, after all it's your money. Nobody's compelling you, you must give." But don't do an obscenity out of that. Don't make anybody feel less than you simply because they don't have something that you have, isn't it? If you want to share it, you share it. If you don't want to share it, you say, "I don't want to share it," you go. "This is mine, that's yours," you go. It's okay. But you don't have to make an obscene scene out of that, rub his poverty in his face. It is not necessary, isn't it? But the king is in that kind of a mode. That's what happens if you become a king. It's good you didn't raise your hands. They're raising their hands because you are their kingdom. Small geography, but still it's a kingdom. So, the minister felt this is obscene, but he cannot tell the king so. So he kept quiet. The old man is so desperate, he walked straight into the pond, right up till here, in cold water, and stood there. The king laughed and he thought, he'll stand there for an hour and go. How long is he going to stand there in the water? But next day morning, the king got up and came out early morning. The man walked out of the pond and came and fell at king's feet and said, "As you said, I have stood in the pond, please." The king said, "The water is cold. You are not youth. How did you stand there for these 12 hours? The old man said, "I stood there in the pond, I saw a lamp burning in your palace. I set my eyes and my mind upon it and just stayed with this. And this lamp somehow internally warmed me up. This made me live. And here I am, please, I have fulfilled what you wanted. Please give me whatever you promised." The king said, "This is not fair. You took warmth from my lamp. You didn't do it yourself. You are taking warmth from my lamp in my palace, so you are not eligible, go." The minister who watched this whole injustice felt very disturbed, but you can't say it, you know. Can you say it? You know. So, those days ministers could not say it. So, that weekend, they organized a hunting party for the king, they all went into the jungle. And all along the way, the minister went on saying how he's brought some special cooks and the king is going to have the most fabulous dinner that he ever had in his life. Because these cooks are special and what all they're going to cook and everything, he just worked up his appetite, talking and talking and talking about it. King went watering in his mouth all along and the dinner was to be served at 7 o'clock. The minister came and said, "Just 10 minutes, just wait 10 minutes, it's getting ready, this is not simple meal, so don't worry about the time." 10 minutes became 1 hour, 1 hour became 2 hours, 2 hours became 3 hours. The king is famished. And he said, "Where is the dinner?" "Just 10 minutes, it's getting ready, the final things are happening." Became midnight. The king is, "What's happening to my dinner?" The minister said, "It's just getting ready, just 10 minutes. You know, it's always like that with the minister, 10 minutes. Then after midnight, the king got really hungry, angry and everything. He said, "Let me see what's happening," and he came. So they're outside, they're cooking, big tamasha is happening, lots of people moving up and down, this, that. They set fire here on the ground. They have a vessel hanging up in the tree, 30 feet above. And the king looked at this and burst into fury. "You idiots! You set fire here and up there, that vessel, you're going to do the cooking? He wants to have some heads rolling." Then the minister said, "No, don't you worry, in this kingdom it's possible. In this kingdom, it is possible to take warmth long distance. When that man can take warmth from a lamp, standing in a cold pond, such a big fire, only 30 feet, it will happen, just wait 10 minutes, it's going to happen." And the king realized what he's done. You better realize, this is what you're doing with life. You're trying to suck life from long distance. It's not going to work. That which you refer to as life, the source of it, the manifestation of it, the experience of it is all within. It's not outside. You cannot suck it from outside. If you think you can either take pleasure, joy, love, blissfulness, ecstasy from outside, you're a fool. It'll never ever happen from outside. You've gotten used to using external stimuli. But even if external stimuli happens, everything happens only inside of you, isn't it so? Is it so? Is it so? Light and darkness have happened only within you. Pain and pleasure has happened only within you. Misery and joy has happened only within you. Agony and ecstasy has happened only within you. Everything that you can call as life has happened only within you. Have you ever experienced anything outside of you? Have you? Have you? I'm asking. Have you ever experienced anything outside of you? The whole experience of life, the whole range of experiences have happened only within you, because the source of experience, the seat of your experience is within you. When the very seat of your experience is within you, who should determine the nature of your experience? See, if you do this, I'm better equipped than you, I'm going to lie down and sleep, I even have a pillow. Who should determine the nature of your experience? That's 10 people. It has to be you, isn't it? Nothing else but you. What happens around you is determined by many people. You have some role in it, but it's not all yours, isn't it? What's happening around you, you have a role in it, you have a stake in it, but it is never all yours. But what's happening within you, which is the whole process of life, is 100% in your hands. But most of the humanity is trying to drink life long distance. If you say life, they look around. If you say God, they look up. See, you really do not know which is up or down, please see this. I want you to understand this. You are living on a round planet. Are you there or you are pre-Copernicus time? You're on a round planet, isn't it? And it is spinning. And in this solar system and this cosmic scape, you do not know which is top side, which is bottom side. Do you know? Do you know? No. So, whenever you look at Uparwala, you may be looking in the wrong direction. You are, I'm telling you. You are looking in the wrong direction. So continuously looking in the wrong direction and wanting to travel in the right direction, this is a hopeless thing to do. Yes? If you want to go in the right direction, you must see in the right direction. The idea of creation, the idea of creator entered your mind only because you tasted the creation around you, isn't it? Now you have no ability to experience anything. For example, you think you can experience this water, it is not true. You experience the sensation the water creates in your body, you don't experience the water. Yes or no? You cannot experience the water, you cannot experience the food, you cannot experience people around you. The only thing that you're experiencing is how your system responds to that. That's all you're experiencing, isn't it so? Yes? So, if everything of life, your individuality and the universal, everything is packed into this, and the very source of creation is functioning from within and creating this, if you ignore that, the chances of you knowing life are remote, very remote. So when should we do this? When should I look into myself? At the very beginning of life, at the first opportunity? Spiritual process, after 60 or after 6? 60? When you begin your life, you must know the nature of this, then only you can experience it in a beautiful way. Otherwise, everything is accidental. Just by chance, today somebody is nice to you, you're feeling good. It's very, very fragile, your well-being. You went outside, someone told you, oh, you are the most wonderful person on this planet. Then you were floating on cloud, what number? What number do you do? 9. In Tamil Nadu we do 11. Okay, you are doing whatever cloud, whatever the number, you are floating and you came home. People at home told you who you really are. Plummets, isn't it? Your well-being, your joy, your love, your peace, horribly fragile. Just anybody can take it away. Someone said something, it can make you miserable. Someone just said something, it can make you miserable, isn't it so? Someone was supposed to say something, they did not say it. That can make you miserable. Someone looked at you, could make you miserable. Someone was supposed to look at you, they did not look at you. Makes you miserable. No earth-shaking events need to happen. Just about anything can throw your well-being off balance, isn't it? With such fragile sense of well-being, with such fragile sense of joy, life must be extremely difficult. Every day, stepping out into the world must be such a difficult thing, isn't it? That's not because the world is difficult, this is simply because you have not taken charge of the basis of your experience. And it's within you. You need nobody's permission. Do you need somebody's permission? You need nobody's permission. You don't need government license, nor do you have visa to enter this one. It's just you. But unfortunately, for a large number of people, that doesn't happen. And they keep on inventing more and more ways to make themselves miserable.
मात पिता तुम मेरे प्रभु मेरे गुरु। मात पिता तुम मेरे प्रभु मेरे गुरु। जो जो है नहीं सब कुछ तुम हो सद्गुरु। मात पिता तुम मेरे प्रभु मेरे गुरु। जो है और जो है नहीं सब कुछ तुम हो सद्गुरु। माँ ने दिया जन्म पिता ने दिया है नाम। माँ ने दिया जन्म पिता ने दिया है नाम। अनदेखी एक दिशा बुलाती सुबह शाम। हर दिशा में अब तुम ही किस दिशा को नमन करूं। जो है और जो है नहीं सब कुछ Sadguru.